Could we have a statement or a debate on the provision of appropriate treatments for borderline personality disorder in a consistent way right across Wales? I've been approached by an articulate and very well-informed constituent, informed through personal experience and through academic research, who's raised the difficulty of obtaining dialectical behaviour therapy, DBT, in the Cwm Taf Morgannwg Health Board area, and he's queried whether the same may apply across different health board areas in Wales. And we could also discuss then the extent to which an individual experiencing borderline personality disorder should be able to engage with clinicians on what the individual considers to be the most appropriate form of treatment for themselves, as opposed to simply accepting whatever treatment may or may not be available within one health board area. Could we also have a statement on changes on train timetabling to enable Valley's commuters to get to work on time in Cardiff? There are only 2 trains which leave my stag which are scheduled to arrive in Cardiff before 9 AM on weekdays. The first leaves at 6:44, arriving at 7:38. Plenty of time to get to work for an 8 or 8:30 start. However, the second was subject to a timetable change in November, which pushed back the departure train to 8:04, arriving in Cardiff at 8:54, if there are no delays. Minister, there are always delays. Sometimes 5 minutes, sometimes 10, sometimes more. So it means that commuters who previously had understanding bosses who said, as long as you're at your desk by 9 AM, don't worry, you're fine, they're now regularly arriving at the desks later than 9 to find their bosses say, you keep this up, you'll be out of a job. So I've written to ministers, to TFW, to Keolis Amy, to Network Rail and others to put this train back to an earlier time when the May timetable changes come. So I'd welcome a statement on the May timetabling. And finally, could we have a debate on the rollout of universal credit, which, as I'm seeing in my surgeries week after week, is pushing many of my constituents deep into debt, into penury and into despair? And can we have an update on the Welsh Government commissioned research by Policy and Practice, which it is designed to help the Welsh Government make policy decisions to best support local authorities and residents with universal credit and understand how this is affecting families in Wales? We saw the research last year by Cardiff showing the impact of the freeze on universal credit, leading to an average 6% cut to the income of people claiming working age benefits since 2016. It showed 84% of tenants claiming UC now owe some rent to the Housing Association, whether through non-payment or technical issues, and those tenants on UC who are in arrears owe more than double the amount of rent compared to peers claiming housing benefit under the old system. So it would be good to have a statement or a debate on this so we can really get to grips with the worst effects of this badly designed and poverty-inducing UK government policy.
I'm grateful to Huw Irranca-Davies for raising 3 really important issues. The first he raised was regarding access to DBT for individuals with borderline personality disorder, and improving access to a range of therapies is a current priority for the Welsh Government, and over recent years we have continued to implement our commitment to improve access to psychological therapies and provided an additional £4 million to health boards in 18-19 to support that, and a further £3 million was also made available as part of the mental health service improvement funding from this financial year. Improving access, quality and the range of psychological therapies will, I can confirm, remain a top priority in the forthcoming Together for Mental Health 2019 to 2022 delivery plan, and it is the intention of the Health Minister to publish that very shortly. The second issue which was raised was the concerns that Huw Irranca-Davies has raised previously in the Chamber, actually, in relation to access to Cardiff from my stake. In the first instance, it's an operational matter for Transport for Wales and Keolis Army, who must meet the franchise commitment, and that is those 2 trains from my stake to Cardiff to arrive before 9 AM. But in recognition of the particular issues he's described, I understand Transport for Wales representatives have held a stakeholder workshop to look at this issue, and the My Stake to Cardiff morning service and the challenges you describe are currently under consideration, and I know that they'll be keen to provide an update following those stakeholder workshops. And the third issue was the issue of welfare reform, and particularly universal credit. and the devastating impact that's had on many people right across Wales. And another piece of evidence which adds, I suppose, to our understanding of the impact of the rollout of universal credit is the piece of research I published on the council tax reduction scheme in Wales, and Huw Irranca-Davies has described the impact it has on people in terms of rent arrears. That is one piece of a suite of research which we've undertaken, which relates to both council tax and non-domestic rates. And as we gather more of those pieces of research together, it will help inform our way forward. And obviously, I'd be keen to update members in due course.